Bills. They say
Bills against Buffalo Bills.
I think Oakland puts up a good fight after winning Denver, but I think that Buffalo could, with the way they played Kansas City, could sneak into a 6 wildcard spot. I'm not saying that for sure, but they could get a 9-7, 10-6 season. I think they get a 24-17 win.
Maybe the Bills are on a roll. I'm going to go with the Bills.
Like I said last week,
yeah, you did.
The Buffalo Bills is surprising this year. I believe they would take the Jets playoff spot with a 9-7 or 10-6 record. Next game is the Green Bay Packers against the Panthers.
Cam Newton put up some very good fantasy numbers last week. I think he could do that again, but I think this week you will see the fantasy performer of the week being Aaron Rodgers in this game for possibly 500 yards, 4 or 5 touchdowns. Cam Newton puts up some good numbers, but not if Carolina wins. Green Bay wins 38-28.
That's about right. I'm also going to go with Green Bay. I think they can win.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Green Bay. I believe that the Panthers will take a step back. How much did it score last week?
20 something, I don't remember, but Newton had a good game.
I think maybe they score 7. Next game is the Kansas City Chiefs against the Detroit Lions.
Detroit, like I've been saying, they're going to the playoffs. Kansas City is not going to. They will be terrible, but they will not be as good as they were last year. Detroit wins the 8th game at home with Matt Stafford and Calvin Johnson having big games. I say they win 27-17. Casey keeps it good.
Home field plays a big role when you're talking about Kansas City, and since Detroit has it, Detroit wins.
Yeah, I'm going with Detroit Lions. I believe that they could have made the playoffs, but I don't think they will.
Even though, like they say they're going to sell out, they're not. Colt McCoy puts up some good numbers, but I think it'll be over our team in Indianapolis. We'll be able to squeak out a 21-21 at home lead with that team.
That's tough. I can't imagine the Colts getting just tromped on 2 weeks in a row. I'm going to have to go with the Colts.
I'm going to go with the Browns now. I believe overall the Browns are the better team now, and I don't think the Jimmy Collins is going to have the Browns. This game is Tampa Bay Buccaneers against Arizona.
Donovan McNabb had 35 passing yards this week, 35. And Tampa Bay secondary is just as good as, if not a little better than San Diego's. So I say that they recover from the loss to Detroit and go up there and get a 20-10 win I'm sorry, not Detroit, in Minnesota.
I'm going to pick the Vikings.
I'm going to take Tampa Bay. I mean, this is the week they would start Christian Palmer for the Vikings, so without him and next game is the Chicago Bears against the New Orleans Saints.
Brian Urlacher just lost his mother, so he may not play in this game. But even if I think he does, I think the Saints rebound from the loss of Green Bay and get a strong 31-21 home win over Chicago, who could be playoff bound. And I might want to take that in my prediction last week after they played and against Atlanta.
Chicago was a surprise. I'm going to Chicago.
I'm going to take the Saints. 14 yards last week with touchdowns, I think. And I think it was the next game is the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Jets.
I was really surprised that with Luke McCown, the Jags were able to get a win over Tennessee. Who were they playing with? Jets. Oh, at home, I think the Jets do better than against Dallas. Sanchez has a good game, I think. And I say they get a 34-20 win over Jacksonville, but I think Jones-Drew barely gets 100 yards.
Jets barely squeaked it out last week, but I think
This can't happen. I have to go. It can't happen.
Next game is the Seahawks against the Steelers.
I think the home field advantage is a big key in this game. I think the Steelers win. I hate to say it, but I think that Bar Jackson could be taken out of this game.
I have to go with my Steelers. They have to do better than they did last week. It can't get any worse.
Yeah, I'm going to take Steelers here.
Yeah, I don't know how to.
Last game is Baltimore Ravens against Tennessee Titans.
Even though Tennessee has Munchak, who's a local Pennsylvanian, as their head coach, I think they're going to go 0-2 because I think Baltimore is looking like they could be a team that could make a Super Bowl run. They have a stronger receiving core than they ever had. I say they go down to Tennessee, get a 31-17 win, but I say Chris Johnson still has a big game.
Unbelievable how well all those new players gelled in Baltimore. I don't think they're going to play with the same passion as they played with against the Steelers. Obviously, the rivalry plays a large part there, but I still
I'm going to take Baltimore Ravens now. I believe that Ray Rice will have over 200 yards for the game.
15.
Next game is the Cardinals versus Redskins.
Kevin Cobb had a big game last week against Carolina, but Washington, as much as I hate to admit it, they're a really good team, defensive backs. They get the win at home here as much as, again, I hate to admit Washington wins the game, but and Grossman actually had a good game, so fantasy owners, you might want to pick him up in the quarterback, and I'll go with the Redskins here at home, get a close game and get a 24-21 over Arizona.
No, it was not.
We're going to talk to Mr. Mayor.
Even though the Niners beat the Seahawks last week, they weren't very impressive in doing it, and Rob Ryan's made Dallas' defense better, so I say Dallas goes up and has a rebound game. It's a 28-10 win over San Fran.
Dallas almost did it last week. They're going to do it this week.
I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys here. They almost won last week. They go up for the 21 fumble.
Bad news bears.
Last game is the Bengals against the Broncos.
Even though Greg Kowski came in and had a good game, and more Denver fans about Tim Tebow, I still think Orton will silence that for 1 week, and I think he gets a 35-24 win over Cincinnati at home.
I agree. I think that's
Yeah, I take Denver here too. Last game is the Houston Texans against the Miami Dolphins.
I think Miami actually played a lot closer, kept up with New England longer than people thought, and I think they will keep this fairly close. I'm going to go with Houston getting a 31-21 win here, and they're really clicking this year. It's in Miami.
I'm going to go with the home team. I'm going to go with the Dolphins.
I'm going to go with Houston Texans here. I believe that they have a good trio with Matt Shaw, Roger Johnson, and Poncho.
Hey, their backup's not bad.
Last game in the Chargers against the Patriots.
Well, I really love to see the Chargers win, but they're traveling cross country, and I think Brady does decent, but not as good as he did last week, and I think they get a 27-24 win in a close game against San Diego.
I think the Patriots will make it.
Last game is the Eagles against the Falcons.
Well, after the performance that Atlanta had in Chicago, I wasn't very impressed, and they could miss the playoffs. If any fantasy owners, you should really consider benching Matt Ryan, Roddy White, and Julio Jones, and giving Mike Vick a start. He has a big game in Atlanta coming back, but it's going to be a close game. Obviously, I'm not saying he was blown out, but they definitely win this game by a score 31-24.
Close. It's really close. Torn.
I'll bring you.
Even though they're my Falcons, I may have to pick the Eagles. But I believe Michael Turner will have a big game if the line can play good. He averaged 10 yards and carry at Chicago. Watch out. That game is way in the Giants.
Right here is the upset special of the week. Rams go up into New York and beat the Giants. I think Bradford has a much bigger game than he did last week. And even whether Steve Jackson plays or not, I still think the in a very close game, the Rams can squeak out a win over the Giants, who had the score 20-17.
Much improved. I think the Rams can do it.
Yeah, see,
Life is about choices, so be careful what you choose. And I'm riding with my homies. Just they got love for me, but I keep my eyes open. Just niggas can't be phonies.